The book that I'm writing right now is called Deception in the Modern World, and it is about all of the deception that's been going on, everything from, way back, thousands of years, all the way to today. But I focus on the 1900s. However, in the book, I do, for a few chapters, go into our ancient past and talk a bit about the Knights Templars and the church. Because the church, in my opinion, now let me speak about my opinion, because I am a researcher and a writer, so this is what I do. I pull most of my research from encyclopedias too, by the way, which I think is funny. Encyclopedias and dictionaries. I own so many of them. Ridiculous. I just bought another one yesterday, actually, another beautiful dictionary. But anyhow, so let me talk about how the church, I believe, in my opinion, the church is connected to banking. Banking runs the world, okay? Bankers and the banking system is the cartel of the world. And that's just the way it is, in my opinion. Now, I'll explain how it works too, because you'll see, once you can see it more clearly, you can start to piece it together and it makes a lot of sense. Now, a lot of people still don't realize how the Roman Catholic Church was founded and just how fierce they were back then. So the Roman Catholic Church, when it was founded, they created knights, okay? They called them the Knights Templars. They went around the world, and what their job was to aid all of the people, all of the Catholics into the Holy Land. And they helped them go in. They needed knights because they were getting, attacked and blah, blah. Now, behind the scenes, and there are so many books about this, what they were doing was seizing property and land and forcing their belief system on all of the other people. Now, they would go into whole towns. They would go, and they did this. The Roman Empire ruled the world. So they went around the whole world forcing their belief systems, and if you didn't comply, they would take your land, they would steal all your stuff. Now, they stole artifacts, paintings, everything, land from everyone. That's a massive amount of wealth. So the Roman Empire, in the Roman Catholic Church, okay, which is now the Vatican, okay, they started by just doing what I had said, and over time, obviously, that means that they're incredibly wealthy. I mean, look at like today, if the guys say, whoever invented the damn Twinkie, I bet you his great-great-great-grandsons are probably super wealthy. They don't have to work. They're probably chilling. That's a Twinkie we're talking about. So old money, yeah, going around the world and taking everything you wanted and labeling people and just destroying things. Yeah, you can, of course, it's old money. So when you learn that Knights Templars really was the first formal banking, they really designed banking, how it worked and operated was already established, because the banking goes way back. And what I mean by that is thousands of years ago, it was a note. So if the king were to give you, if he had a wonderful treasure for you and you were over with the king, what he'd do is say, okay, here you go, John. I have a amazing piece of treasure for all the work that you've been doing for me, but it's over in, Italy. So you're going to have to get on the boat and go over there and grab it. And John was like, well, what do you mean? I'm going to go over there. No one's going to give me that. How are they going to know to give it to me? And he says, here you go, this is a note. And they seal it. It's all properly sealed by the king and blah, blah. That is banking right there. So that facility that was housing the important thing for John is the bank. And the king is signing you over the note. That's the money. Now, a lot of people don't realize how currency works today because it's not tied to anything valuable, like gold or silver like it used to be. As a matter of fact, the last country in the world, I believe it was like Sweden or something, and they got rid of it in 1999. So there is no more currency tied to anything anymore. It's debt-based. How is it debt-based? Because when you're born, when you get a Social Security, the government assumes that you're going to pay back in taxes, the government, X amount of dollars. So we are worth X amount of dollars. We sell bonds to other countries. So what we do is So basically how it works is we hand other countries money, okay, say $1 billion, and they pay us back 5 billion in X amount of years. How are we able to print the money? Because we are the ones accruing the money, making the money happen. However, what they do now is print money out of thin air and keep printing it. But the reason why that money is still going to have value is because there are babies being born every day, more people being working, more jobs are supposed to be being dumped into the economy. So it's supposed to create more what? More money. So that means that we are the currency. The currency is actually us. It's all a debt-based system. When you understand how that works, and you understand that the Knights Templars were the ones that were doing all of this for the Roman Catholic Church way thousands of years ago. So when these people dissolved, when the Knights Templars dissolved because allegedly they had gotten, taken out on Friday the 13th. That's the whole reason why Friday the 13th is spooky day, whatever. And it's all because of the old myth about the Knights Templars being all hunted down. Now, why would the king hunt these men down if these men were doing things for the king? That is because, in my opinion now, that is because these men knew things. And these men had information that the king did not want them to tell people, okay? So what did the king do? Now, this is where it gets funny, too, because people say, well, the Knights Templars dissolved. Okay, but who went around killing the original Knights Templars? Who went around doing all that? They had to have formed new knights. So there was a new order of things, okay? A new order of knights that went around and got rid of the old Knights Templars. What I think is happening today is we still have this new order, okay? And we still have the old Knights Templars that are still around. They just went underground. And that is why you have these, this push and pull with American politics, because it's all ancient occult orders doing all the bidding. Okay, so that's what's happening. There's like a war behind the scenes, in my opinion, right now, between very old occult orders and the Knights Templars and whatever, the Illuminati you can call them, because that's probably what they became. And, you have these groups going at it. For what? For us. To own us, essentially. Because we are the value of money. And then also, if you can keep us in a low vibration where we need you, we become, we become dependent on the government to help and everything, because we're stuck in the low vibration that they want us to be in. Now, it gets deep, but the new book I'm writing is all about that. And so it teaches a bit about how this happened and how the Vatican and the church, how they have ties to banking. They have ties to banking because it's ancient money, and they formed the banks. They were the original banks. Who do you think, like when people say, oh, but America is run by the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a federal bank. The Federal Reserve is based on 13 banks worldwide that collaborate and formed the Federal Reserve. It's 13 private banks, 13 of them. Who do you think owns the 13 of them? Old money, baby. Old money. It goes all the way back to Rome. Why do you think people say it goes back to Rome? All things go back to Rome. That's what they're talking about. Okay? All the money, all the banking, everything. The bankers are they run it all. They're the kings of this world. They're the kings of Babylon. It's ancient. So it goes back. And that's what I like to talk about. That's what I like to teach. Now, all of the stuff I talk about can be go to a library, go pick up a book on this stuff. There's a ton of information out there. They don't want you to start connecting the dots. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I've written a couple books. One's on symbols, and it's just symbols. It's like hundreds of symbols. And I try, because symbols are important. When you see a symbol, It means something. Learn what they mean. Now, another book, the first book that I wrote is where belief systems and all of these ideas came from. What is Satan? What is Lucifer? What are these things? Because they're stories from thousands of years. And that's what that book is about. But like I said, the new book that it should be coming out pretty soon, digitally anyway. And that is all about modern day deception. It takes you way back into how all this stuff started. And it brings you right into like just magic and how this is a magic trick. NASA is a magic trick. Okay, it's all about alchemy and transmuting your mind into believing something that isn't real. Because when you're living in a fantasy-based reality, nothing you do is going to matter. Okay, and I know some people are going to take that wrong, but you know, I'm not trying to insult people. Like, obviously, things you do matter to you, but you know what I'm saying. Like, the elites of the world, they don't play around at the children's table that they have placed us at. Okay, they've tabled us. Like, let those people learn about the things that aren't real and don't matter, while we keep all the real information so we can make all the real calls here. That's what's happening. Again, this is my opinion, and you know, it's based on information that I read. So I'm not sure why I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but the internet doesn't seem to like my opinion very much. Anyway, I love you all, and please, you can follow me at withthesun33.com, and that's where all my books are and all that. And then my social media, I mean, if you follow me on Telegram, that's where I'm going to be posting everything. That's where I post everything, because I can. And it's a free app, super easy, doesn't take up any space on your phone like TikTok. So it's you know, Telegram, and find me with the Sun33. I'm also on Rumble and YouTube and Instagram, where they censor the crap out of me, with the Sun33. I love you all. And with the Sun33, I'm not a Mason. I'm actually not, okay? With the Sun is my last name in Latin. And 33 is my numerology to my last name. So it's just because my uncle used to really love numerology, and I liked learning numerology. It's helped me put a lot of pieces together. So that's that. I love you all, and of course, this is my opinion, and for entertainment only.